Can the dead live again? Have you ever lost someone so close to your heart that it felt like a part of you died too? The pain of loss is universal, a heavy cloak that can smother us in despair. But what if I told you there's hope, even in the face of death, that God's power is not bound by the limitations of this world? Journey with me to the small town of Bethany, a place nestled in the heart of the ancient Middle East. This town, with its stone houses and narrow streets, holds a story of profound sorrow and eventual hope. It was here that Jesus received word that his dear friend Lazarus was gravely ill. The message was urgent, filled with the desperation of those who loved Lazarus dearly. Lazarus had two sisters, Mary and Martha, who loved him dearly. They were a close-knit family, bound by love and faith. When Lazarus died, their home, once filled with laughter and warmth, became shrouded in grief. The sisters mourned deeply, their hearts heavy with loss. The news of Lazarus's passing devastated Jesus. He felt the pain of losing a dear friend, a pain that resonated deeply within him. See, Jesus wasn't just a miracle worker, he was a friend, a brother. He shared in the sorrows and joys of those around him, offering comfort and hope. He felt the weight of their sorrow deeply. The loss of Lazarus was not just a distant tragedy, it was a personal heartbreak. Yet amidst the grief, Jesus knew he had the power to act, to change everything. With a heart full of compassion and a spirit of determination, he prepared to bring hope back to Bethany. When Jesus arrived in Bethany, Martha, ever practical, rushed to meet him. "Lord," she cried, "if you had been here, my brother would not have died." Mary, overwhelmed with grief, stayed in the house, but her broken heart echoed Martha's sentiment. Their words, though laced with pain, held a glimmer of hope. They knew Jesus had healed the sick and even raised a young girl from the dead. Could he do it again for their brother? Could he mend their shattered hearts? With compassion in his eyes, Jesus assured Martha, "Your brother will rise again." Martha, clinging to traditional beliefs, responded, "I know he will rise again in the resurrection at the last day." But Jesus, in his infinite power, declared, "I am the resurrection and the life. Whoever believes in me will live, even though they die." These weren't just words, this was a powerful declaration of his authority over death itself. Jesus, followed by a crowd of mourners and skeptics, approached Lazarus's tomb. The air was thick with sorrow and disbelief, as whispers of doubt mingled with the wails of grief. The mourners, clad in ancient robes, moved slowly, their faces etched with despair. It was a cave sealed with a large stone, a barrier that seemed insurmountable. The stone stood as a symbol of finality, a grim reminder of death's permanence. "Take away the stone," Jesus commanded. His voice was calm yet authoritative, cutting through the tension like a knife. The crowd hesitated, unsure of what to expect. Martha, still grappling with doubt, protested, "But Lord, by this time there is a bad odor, for he has been there 4 days." Her voice trembled, reflecting the inner turmoil she felt. The reality of death seemed too overwhelming to challenge. With unwavering faith, Jesus raised his eyes heavenward and prayed to his Father. His prayer was a moment of profound connection, a testament to his unshakable belief in divine power. The crowd watched in silence, their skepticism momentarily suspended. Then, with a voice that echoed with divine authority, he cried out, "Lazarus, come out!" The command reverberated through the air, carrying with it a sense of undeniable power and hope. At that moment, something incredible happened. Light seemed to break through the darkness, illuminating the faces of those who stood in awe. The atmosphere shifted, charged with an electric sense of anticipation. A miracle unfolded before their very eyes. The crowd gasped, their expressions transforming from doubt to astonishment. It was a moment that defied logic, a testament to the extraordinary. Lazarus, who had been dead for 4 days, emerged from the tomb, his hands and feet still wrapped in burial cloths. The sight was both eerie and awe-inspiring, a powerful reminder of the triumph of life over death. The crowd stood in stunned silence, witnessing a moment that would be remembered for generations. The story of Lazarus is more than just a historical event. It is a timeless message of hope. It's a powerful reminder that even in the darkest of times, God is with us, guiding us through. He sees our pain, hears our cries, and offers us hope when all seems lost and we feel alone. When we feel like giving up, like the situation is impossible, Remember Lazarus and his story. Remember that with God, nothing is impossible, and hope is always within reach. Maybe you're facing a situation today that seems hopeless. It could be a challenge that feels insurmountable, a problem that seems to have no solution, or a burden that feels too heavy to bear. Life can be incredibly tough, and sometimes it feels like there's no way out. Maybe you've lost a loved one, your health is failing, or you're dealing with a financial crisis. These moments can make us feel isolated and overwhelmed, as if we're walking through a dark valley with no end in sight. Or perhaps your dreams are slipping away and the future you envisioned seems to be crumbling. But remember, even in the darkest times, there is hope. Don't give up. Hold on to your faith, because faith can move mountains. Just like he did for Lazarus, who was brought back to life after 4 days in the tomb, Jesus wants to breathe new life into your situation. He is the same, yesterday, today, and forever. Jesus wants to breathe new life into your situation. He is always there, ready to perform miracles and bring about change that we can't even imagine. Tell your mountain about your God. Speak to your challenges with the confidence that God is bigger than any obstacle you face. Declare his promises over your life. The Bible is filled with God's promises, and they are true for you today. And never forget, no matter what you're facing today, no matter how big or small, God is able to do immeasurably more than all you could ask or imagine. His power is limitless, and his love for you is boundless. God is able to do immeasurably more than all you could ask or imagine. He is the God of miracles, the God of the impossible. He is the God of resurrection, the one who brings the dead to life and makes all things new. And he wants to restore and heal every area of your life. Whether it's your health, your relationships, your finances, or your dreams, God is in the business of restoration. What impossible situation are you facing today? What burden are you carrying that feels too heavy to bear? Share your story in the comments below. Your testimony can be a source of encouragement and hope for others who are going through similar struggles. Let's lift each other up in prayer. There is power in collective prayer, and together we can support each other through the toughest times. And believe for God's amazing power to move in our lives. Trust in his timing, his wisdom, and his love. With God, all things are possible.